freeze everything right now. Because what I'm about to unveil over the next 30 minutes will crack open every illusion you've ever carried about who truly protects you and who truly can't. Exactly 72 hours ago, while you were sleeping peacefully, completely unaware, something shifted in realms your mind was never trained to recognize. Something happened in dimensions you've never been taught to believe in. Something so unsettling, so impossible by the rules most people think govern the spiritual world that even the Prince of Darkness himself was shaken into silence. That person you cut off, the one you finally removed from your space because they were draining you, twisting you, controlling you, reached a level of obsession that crossed into insanity. Yes, that same person. The one who couldn't handle your boundaries. The one who couldn't survive your growth. They became so desperate, so fixated on reclaiming their grip on your life, that they did the unthinkable. They invoked the devil. They presented your photo. And they asked for something that would freeze your blood if you could hear it with your own ears. But here's the part that will leave you staring at the screen like your mind just hit a wall. When the Prince of Darkness looked at your image, when he detected what stamped into your field, he did something he hasn't done in thousands of years. He refused. He rejected it. He said no, not calmly, not politely, but with raw, instinctive terror. It wasn't the kind of no that negotiates. It was the kind of no that slams the door so hard the entire room shakes, as if your photo burned his hands, as if the unseen mark you carry was fire to demonic flesh, as if the air itself screamed a cosmic warning. Touch this one and pay 7 times the price. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, because what I'm about to reveal about the evolved mark of Cain, the mark chosen ones like you carry, is being quietly buried and blocked for a reason. They don't want you to realize the level of protection that's been operating over your life. Not because you begged for it, but because you've earned it through trials most people couldn't survive. Stay to the last second, because I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened in that invocation, what the devil saw in your photo that made him recoil, why that person now lives in fear, how the law of sevenfold operates automatically around you, and what it exposes about your true identity. And if you've felt lately that toxic people from your past are collapsing in ways that don't even make sense, write 777 in the comments, because you're about to understand why even darkness respects the ancestral seal you carry. Now let's rewind exactly 72 hours to 3:33 in the morning, that hour when the veil between dimensions grows thin enough to be dangerous. That person, I'll call them the desperate one, was up again, trapped in obsessive insomnia. And no, it wasn't love. It wasn't genuine nostalgia. It was that feverish fixation narcissists experience when they lose control over someone who dared to evolve beyond their reach. They were stalking you compulsively, checking your profiles, scanning for cracks, hoping, praying, begging the universe for evidence that you collapsed without them. But that night, they saw your most recent photo, and something in that image hit them like a punch in the stomach. It wasn't your face. It was the frequency. The light in your eyes looked like it could burn through glass. The authority in your posture carried a message so humiliating for them it felt unbearable. You're prospering without them, you're expanding beyond them, you're operating on a level they will never reach. The distance between you now is not a gap, it's an abyss. Like comparing a candle to the sun, a puddle to an ocean, an ant to a mountain. That realization sent them spiraling into rage so intense their body started trembling, because narcissistic people need to believe you are nothing without them. They need to believe you'll crumble, that you'll come crawling back. That fantasy is the fuel that keeps them alive. And your photo destroyed it in one glance. In that moment, every insult they ever spoke over you was exposed. Every time they said, "You'll never make it without me," it was revealed as what it always was, the projection of their own mediocrity. And when desperate people realize they've lost control, they reach for power they don't understand. If they couldn't pull you back with emotional manipulation, they would try something darker. They spent hours obsessively researching, diving into shadowy corners of the internet, finding forums where people share rituals that should remain forgotten. Instructions written like poison. Invocation methods that normal people would never touch because they can feel instinctively that it comes with a price. And while the world slept, they prepared everything with surgical precision. Black candles arranged in a perfect pentagon, symbols drawn with their own blood on the floor, your photo placed in the center, words whispered that shouldn't be shaped by human lips. Words that open doors between dimensions and attract attention from forces the desperate one believed they could control. And here is the truth. In the spiritual universe, nothing is free. And the most expensive thing you can ever request is the attention of the Prince of Darkness. The room temperature dropped instantly, from a comfortable 72 degrees to near freezing in seconds. It wasn't gradual cooling. It was as if all heat was ripped out by a dimensional vacuum. The candle flames began to move in impossible ways, switching colors like signals from another realm. Green, purple, blue, dancing with no wind. And then they felt it. A presence that pressed on the chest like a mountain. Ancient, as the first malicious thought. Intelligent in a way that makes the human mind want to fracture just to escape processing it. The air became thick, viscous, hard to inhale. The smell of sulfur mixed with decomposition filled the room, turning the stomach. And no, he didn't appear like a cheap movie character with horns and a pitchfork. What manifested was something that made every cell in the body scream to run. Shadows moved independent of light. Eyes glowed with millennial intelligence and malice sharpened by ages. Power radiated like waves you could feel in your bones. They were paralyzed, not metaphorically, literally unable to move a muscle. And then the voice filled the room not from one location but from everywhere at once, from the walls and floor and ceiling, and most terrifying of all, from inside their own head. "You dare invoke me, insignificant creature." The frequency of it made bones vibrate. "You dare pull me away from infinitely more important matters by speaking words you barely comprehend." They tried to respond, but their throat closed. Their bodies shook. All they could do was point with a trembling finger to your photo, trying to communicate what they wanted through the language of fear. They wanted you destroyed, broken, dragged back, humiliated, punished for evolving without their permission. Then the moment arrived that shattered their reality. The devil turned his attention to your photo, and for a fraction of a second, something crossed that malignant presence that shouldn't be possible. Real hesitation. Something like recognition. Involuntary respect. An ancestral fear rising from memory older than the human race. As if he saw something that broke rules he believed he owned. "Where did you get this image?" the voice thundered, and the mirror on the wall cracked. The tone had changed. Less arrogance, more caution. They forced the words out, choking on terror. "It's him. It's the person I need you to bring back or destroy, I don't care which." Absolute silence. Then the mirror shattered. The candles extinguished simultaneously. The desperate one collapsed to their knees, hands over their ears. Because the pressure of that silence felt like pain. And when they looked up through tears, they saw what will haunt them for the rest of their life. That presence was retreating, actually moving away from your photo as if it were acid, as if it were a trap, as if it were something even he did not want to touch. "You have no idea who this person is, do you?" The voice came now with forced admiration, reluctant respect dragged out against its will. They stammered, "It's just a normal person I dated." Normal. The laughter that followed was bitter, soaked in cruel irony. "Absurdly foolish creature. You came to me asking me to touch someone marked in that way. With that seal, you truly have no idea what you're asking." The devil began circling the room, his presence heavy, almost educational now, like a teacher explaining consequences to a student who refuses to learn. "I'm going to tell you something I rarely share with insignificant mortals so you understand the magnitude of your suicidal ignorance." He stopped and turned toward them. "Do you know the story of Cain?" "Yes, that Cain. Humanity's first murderer who killed his own brother out of envy. And do you know what the Creator did to him?" Silence pressed down. "He placed a mark on him, a mark of protection. And do you know what it declared?" The voice deepened. "Anyone who touches Cain will be avenged 7 times, not once, 7 times, a multiplication of consequence, an automatic cosmic law established by the Creator himself." And then, like a blade turning, the devil added what most people never understand. "Everyone thinks the mark was a curse. It wasn't. It was brutal protection, a cosmic warning. Touch this one and pay a multiplied price." Even after Cain committed the first homicide, the Creator protected him with a law even I must respect. Then he faced your photo again, and something colder came into the air. And this person carries an evolved version of that mark, not because they killed anyone, but because they passed through trials that would make Cain's journey look like a walk in the park. Literal hunger, devastating betrayal, soul-crushing loneliness, pain that should have corrupted them. He paused, letting the weight of it settle. And do you know what happened? They didn't become corrupt. They evolved. They kept purity while developing strength. And when a soul does that, they receive the mark of the protected chosen. An invisible seal that screams to beings like me, "Touch this one and pay 7 times the price." For those who want to go deeper, yes, there's exclusive material in the description and pinned comment. But listen closely now, because the devil's next words are what reveal how this law operates in real life. "Let me explain the law of 7-fold in practice," he said, as if breaking down a system. "Let's pretend hypothetically that I accepted your request. Let's say I attacked this marked person. Maybe I send a nightmare, block one opportunity, influence a betrayal. Small attacks, right?" He laughed, dark and amused. "Now multiply each one by 7, not equal consequence. 7 times worse. If I cause one nightmare, 7 nightmares return to me at once, each one intensified. If I block one opportunity, 7 of my operations collapse instantly. If I influence betrayal, 7 alliances disintegrate." The presence circled. "And you know what's worse? This law doesn't apply only to me. It applies to anyone who tries to harm a mark chosen one. Curse them, sabotage them, attack them, and everything returns 7-fold. Then the devil's eyes gleamed like he was enjoying the desperate one's panic. "By the way, you've already tried to harm them before, haven't you?" And the air tightened. Those emotional manipulations, those narcissistic games, they counted. You caused damage. And do you know why they cut you off? Because the law was beginning to activate. Each manipulation added consequence. And when they fully awakened, the devil said, almost pleased, the law activated retroactively. So everything you did against them is coming back 7 times. He listed it like a sentence being read aloud. That time you destroyed their opportunity out of jealousy. Wait for your next 7 opportunities to collapse. That time you poisoned their friendships? Wait for your own friendships to disintegrate until you're 7 times more isolated. They trembled, whispering no like a prayer. The devil answered yes, like a verdict. And now you invoked my power against a marked chosen one. The presence grew heavier, sharper. You multiplied the karma. It's no longer 7-fold. It's 7 times 7, 49-fold. And in that instant, the desperate one realized they had not summoned a servant. They had summoned a judge of consequences. You know what irritates me? The devil said. You dragged me away from important matters. You made me waste time. All to ask for something you should have known was impossible. Cosmic suicide. The desperate one tried to retreat, stammering excuses, insisting they didn't know. And the devil's tone hardened. You didn't know because you didn't research. You didn't understand. You just assumed you could keep manipulating after they awakened. Arrogance mixed with ignorance is an irritating combination, he whispered, stepping closer. Let me teach you something about invoking forces you don't understand. When you call someone like me, you assume risks. And one of those risks is I can decide you deserve to be permanently educated. They screamed and tried to run, but their feet were glued to the floor. I'm not going to kill you, the devil said almost calmly. That would be wasteful. Death is an easy escape. No, I'm going to leave you alive. Perfectly healthy in body, but forever carrying the memory of what you saw here. Then they felt it. Something being etched into their soul. Not physical pain, but spiritual branding. A mark burned into their essence. Eternal humiliation. The shame of being rejected even by the darkness they tried to weaponize. Every time you look at their photo, the devil whispered, you're going to feel this. A wave of terror hit them like a flood. You're going to remember you tried to use my power against someone protected by something greater. You will feel shame, fear, impossibility. Any future thought of revenge will activate this mark automatically. Any manipulation plan will burn like hot iron. Any attempt to harm them will bring pain, multiplied by 7. He leaned closer. You are permanently blocked from harming them, not because I'm kind, because interfering with chosen ones protected by the evolved mark of Cain brings consequences even I don't want. Then he sighed, like someone tired of explaining basic reality. You really don't understand how the universe works. Let me educate you before I discard you. And he spoke of hierarchies older than humanity, a cosmic structure established before humans crawled across the earth. At the top, the creative force, the one who cast him down, the one who set laws like the mark of Cain. Beneath, archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, then legions of angels, then elemental forces like time, space, gravity, then beings like him, fallen, powerful, but still bound by law, still subject to hierarchy. And far below that, he said, most humans, 99.9% living in ignorance, blind, spiritually deaf, easily influenced. Those, he implied, were his hunting ground. But sometimes, he continued, a human is born different, carrying something special from conception, a prenatal mark, a mission coded into spiritual DNA, a purpose that transcends ordinary existence. Those rare souls are protected in ways your mind cannot comprehend. He pointed toward your photo. This person is one of those souls, marked before their first breath, chosen for a purpose your limited mind could never process. And when someone is chosen like that, he said, protection is automatic, not negotiated, not optional, absolute cosmic law. And then, as if the story turned and stared directly at the viewer, the message widened. Because this isn't only about the desperate one, it's about you. Yes, you watching. Because the mark in that story is not rare in this audience. That is why this video finds you. Do you know why that person reached the point of invoking the devil against you? Because they know they lost something priceless. They threw away a diamond thinking it was common stone, and now you shine with a light they cannot reach. Their desperation surpassed rationality. But here is what must enter your nervous system like truth you can't unlearn. You do not need to fear manipulators from your past. You do not need to worry about curses. You do not need to lose sleep over envy, gossip, plotting, spiritual attacks, because they will all collide with the same invisible wall. They will hear the same categorical no, whether from demons, witches, dark rituals, or any force that thrives on targeting the unprotected. Because the law is automatic. It operates whether you believe in it or not. Your protection is not something you consciously requested. It's not the result of an elaborate ritual. It is the consequence of who you became through fire. You survived what should have ruined you. You endured hunger without turning corrupt, betrayal without becoming bitter, loneliness without losing tenderness, pain that should have made you cruel, but instead made you strong while keeping your soul intact. Every trial you passed without losing yourself added another layer to your mark. Every moment you could have fallen but chose to rise reinforced it. Every time you wanted to quit but kept moving, the seal intensified. And now you operate under a protection so real, so active, that even darkness calculates the cost and steps back. Not because you are perfect, but because you are proven, tested, tempered in a furnace that melts the majority of humanity. Let me show you the practical signs you've likely already witnessed without realizing what they meant. Sign 1. People who betrayed you faced consequences that were too fast and too severe to call normal karma. It wasn't slow, it was immediate, precise, almost surgical, like the universe said. You touched someone marked, now pay 7 times. The coworker who sabotaged you didn't just face one setback. 7 things collapsed at once: reputation, career, finances, relationships, health, opportunities, stability. And they couldn't explain it because it wasn't linear cause and effect. It was law. Sign 2. Plans against you fail in statistically impossible ways. People assemble, plot, line up the details, believe it's airtight, and then something inexplicable disrupts it. The key piece doesn't work. The crucial person changes their mind. The information leaks at the wrong moment, because protection moves behind the scenes before the attack finishes forming. Sign 3. Doors open at the exact moment you hit your limit. When there's no logical way out, suddenly there is. A message appears. A person offers help. An opportunity drops from nowhere. Not because you're lucky, but because the protection ensures you don't fall off the path before your mission is completed. Sign 4. Toxic people disappear from your orbit without dramatic battles. They lose interest. They drift. They find easier targets. It's as if an unseen force repels predators because the mark doesn't only attract guardianship, it repels those who feed on souls. Sign 5. You carry a persistent sense of being watched, but it isn't paranoia. It's awareness. A quiet knowing that eyes are on you, presence accompanies you, and strangely, it feels comforting because the protection is not occasional, it's constant. And sign 6. You feel purpose. Not vague motivation, not ego. A deep conviction that you are here for a specific reason. A mission coded into you. Work only you can complete. And that feeling holds you upright even when everything collapses, because it comes from truth, not fantasy. Now here is the final piece, the one that changes everything if you let it land. This mark, this law of sevenfold, does not exist to keep you comfortable inside a mediocre life. It exists to guarantee you complete your mission, to remove obstacles that would stop the work you came here to do. Think about it. If the universe invested this level of protection in you, if higher forces established a law even the devil respects, if you were marked before birth so that any attack returns multiplied, it's because you are meant to do something that matters beyond your personal timeline. Your life is not only about you, it's testimony, it's walking evidence, proof that light can be forged in darkness without becoming corrupt. Every time you overcame something that should have broken you, it wasn't only self-improvement. It was a demonstration to other chosen ones watching your journey, showing them survival is possible, evolution is possible, becoming unbreakable is possible. Your existence expands what reality believes is possible. And in the universe, possibility is power. One person doing the impossible breaks a paradigm, cracks open a path, and thousands follow. So when you truly understand what it means to carry this mark, you stop wasting energy on small drama. You stop clinging to victimhood. You stop treating your life like it's random, because you realize, if higher forces invested this much in keeping you alive through absurd odds, then you have an obligation, a sacred responsibility not to waste it. The desperate one who tried to weaponize darkness against you will never understand this. They chose manipulation instead of truth, masks instead of authenticity, controlling others instead of mastering themselves, and they will remain trapped in low frequency, without real protection, without deep purpose, without anything but growing desperation as they watch you rise and shine beyond their reach. Now you know the devastating truth that flips the whole story. They invoked the darkest force they could imagine against you. They handed your photo to the devil expecting your destruction. And that force looked at you, recognized the evolved mark of Cain, and said with terror, "No, this one I cannot touch. The law of sevenfold would destroy me. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a warrior under cosmic protection, operating under automatic law established by the Creator himself. You are marked for a mission that transcends common understanding. Your light was forged in darkness, and not even darkness dares challenge it without calculating the cost. For those who made it this far and want to go deeper into the evolved mark of Cain, the law of sevenfold, and the way chosen ones move under spiritual authority that even demonic forces respect, there is material available in the description and pinned comment, including an audiobook and a short meditation guide, as a bonus, created to help you understand and use this consciously. But regardless of whether you ever click anything, the message is clear. Stop fearing desperate ex-partners. Stop worrying about jealous people conspiring. Stop losing sleep over anyone trying to send energy, hire witches, or plot your downfall. All of them will meet the same invisible wall, the same categorical rejection, the same devastating no, followed by consequences multiplied and returned, because you no longer operate at a frequency they can reach. You have transcended. You have evolved. You have become something even the Prince of Darkness recognizes, not out of admiration but out of survival. Your mark speaks in spiritual language, protected under sevenfold law. Touch at your own cosmic risk. So here's what you do with this knowledge. You honor the protection you've received. You honor the sacrifices you survived. You honor the pain you turned into diamond. You stop living as the smallest version of yourself. You stop wasting your gift on mediocrity when you were forged for something higher. You stop betraying the investment the universe made in you. You were marked to shine intensely. You were protected to complete a specific mission. You were sealed with authority that transcends ordinary hierarchies. So do it, without excuses, without self-sabotage, without shrinking. If you recognize that you carry the evolved mark of Cain, that you operate under the law of sevenfold, that this seal confirms a greater mission you must complete, write 777 in the comments to amplify the collective frequency of cosmically protected chosen ones. Subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications for more revelations about spiritual laws, chosen missions, and why protection over your life is far stronger than you were ever taught to imagine. Share this with someone who's been through devastating fire and came out stronger, because marked warriors need to recognize each other in a world that doesn't understand the spiritual authority they carry. And before you leave, click the next video on your screen to discover even more signs that you operate under divine protection, and why enemy attacks always fail spectacularly when aimed at you. Together, we're stronger.